New on the Night Beat, a San Antonio grandmother has made it her mission to keep her granddaughter's name alive after she was shot and killed on the west side during what police say was a car meetup.
Now, 6-year-old Soraya Perez now has a nonprofit organization in her honor. The sole purpose is to help other families who have lost a child to gun violence. Her grandmother tells me helping others has brought their family peace in a devastating situation.
I get up in the morning and I come and I give her a kiss.
Cynthia Alvarez starts and ends her day with her granddaughter, 6-year-old Soraya Perez, not in person, but in spirit.
She loved pink, she loved purple.
Soraya was shot and killed on Mother's Day during what police say was a dispute at a car meet. The Bexar County District Attorney indicted this man, Andrew Ray Elizondo, for felony murder. He's facing up to 99 years or life in prison.
We're fine with it, you know, but closure we haven't had just yet.
Since Soraya's death, it's been tough.
A big emptiness in our heart, in our home. Soraya forgives you, but look at what you did to us.
But the family has found a way to make good come out of a tragic situation.
Soraya was a small child with a huge heart. Her biggest concern and worry was always a child that never had anything.
They started a nonprofit called Soraya Liana's Blessings. Its mission:
for not another child to go through what she went through. Not another child to get gunned down. Not another child to be ever hurt. This is the backpacks that have been donated.
They're planning a back-to-school drive as a first event on the 14th. With each backpack, a letter of encouragement, snacks.
She loved her snacks.
And for each girl, a pink bow will be given, symbolizing Soraya's love for bows. She hopes her granddaughter's life continues to impact others, even after death.
Soraya was blessed to have everything she wanted, so she's blessing other children now.
And that back-to-school drive will be held at the People's House Church on South Hamilton Street. Now, if you will go from 5 to 8 p.m. next Saturday, that's when the event will take place. If you would like to donate supplies or learn more about the organization, visit the story on our website at ksat.com.
Taking a look now at other top stories we've been following today. San Antonio police investigating a shooting on the southeast side that left a man in the hospital overnight. It all happened just after midnight off of Lake Tahoe Street, not far from New Sulphur Springs Road and Loop 410. When police arrived at the scene, they say they found a 28-year-old man who was shot in the leg along with several shell casings. That man taken to the hospital. So far, no arrests have been made and no word on any suspects in this case. Also happening overnight, a woman died after being hit by a train over on the south side. This just before midnight on West Hutchins Place near South Zarzamora and I-35. San Antonio police say that woman was pronounced dead at the scene. It's unclear right now why she was on those train tracks. Union Pacific is investigating along with SAPD.
2 women are dead and a suspected drunk driver is facing charges after speeding head-on into another vehicle. The crash happening after police tried desperately to stop the man as he drove the wrong way. The 19's Jonathan Cotto with details on the deadly crash.
Not only are we dealing with 2 families, possibly 3 families that are just tragically having to walk through some horrible details of what this crash consisted of.
Police say at around 2:30 this morning, they spotted a man driving a Ford 350 pickup truck traveling the wrong way on I-37 near downtown. That driver, they say, going around 90 miles an hour, eventually jumping onto I-35 south, but still driving the wrong way. Police say they tried everything to get him off the road. Even SAPD's Eagle helicopter was deployed. All efforts unsuccessful.
We attempt, by traveling on the right side of traffic, our DWI officers attempt to make contact with him by using multiple resources on their patrol unit. They use their floodlight. At one point, they actually did make eye contact with the driver, getting his attention without success of having him stop his vehicle.
Their efforts continuing for miles and tragically ending at I-35 between Eisenhower and Walzem. Bruneta says the driver struck an SUV head-on, killing the 2 women instantly. The man man's truck bursting in flames upon impact. Officers rushing to rescue the man from his truck burning and upside down. Police using a fire extinguisher and pulling that man out.
Two officers were able to extract him from the vehicle, pulling him quite the distance and potentially and obviously saving his life.
ASAPD says the officer who pulled the man from the burning truck was treated for smoke inhalation. As for the driver who caused the fatal crash, he was transported to BAMC in critical condition. Police say he'll be facing 2 charges of intoxication manslaughter. And as for the 2 female victims, their identities have not yet been released. Reporting, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
The jury has spoken. We know this was a very difficult decision for them. It was not easy for them to reach this verdict.
That verdict, guilty. The punishment, death. After a jury deliberated for more than 7 hours yesterday, Otis McCain became the first man to receive the death penalty in Bexar County in 5 years. McCain convicted of shooting and killing San Antonio police detective Benjamin Marconi.
And now that trial has come to a close, there's hope that the Marconi family and his brothers and sisters in blue may be able to find some sense of closure.
Yeah, the night team's John Paul Barajas spoke with a police chaplain who explains how the trial brought back some emotions and how its ending will now allow those involved to keep moving forward.
The grief and emotions from a tragedy like the killing of Detective Benjamin Marconi often come flooding back during a trial, says volunteer police chaplain Ron Leonard.
They still have emotions and they still have to relive that horrible day that happened out there with it because he was just brutally ambushed is what it was.
For the past month, family, friends, and brothers and sisters who share the badge have had to see Detective Marconi's suspected, now convicted killer front and center of all media outlets. The chaplain explains it's tough, but the sentencing was needed not just to close the case, but to turn the chapter.
It was good to get the closure, regardless of what the verdict meant or anything like that. I really don't want to get into that. It's just that it was closure. It's over with now.
During times of need, Chaplain Leonard and his therapy dog Molly offer emotional support and prayers to officers and their families who need it. His services have been in high demand during the trial.
We go out emotionally and help these families and different ones be able to come to grips with what happened. Survivor's guilt, which means why wasn't I the one that was hurt instead of him? Why am I still alive and he's gone? She's a good dog.
He adds right after the sentencing came down, he was in touch with some officers who called to thank him and Molly for their time and support.
On top of being there for the officers emotionally, the chaplain has also been giving out these goodie bags with treats inside and a message that says, "Dear officer, we need you to show them they're still cared for and appreciated." He says in the last 6 months, he's given out just under 1,000. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
John Paul, thank you. Texas Democrats break quorum once again as a second special session called by Governor Greg Abbott convened today, with many still missing. A good many of those Democrats say that they will remain in Washington, D.C. in an effort to push Congress to act on a federal voting bill. The previous session ended yesterday without any bills being passed. The new session comes with an expanded list of items added to the agenda by Governor Abbott. They include priorities like the election bill that caused the House Democrats to break quorum in the first place, as well as COVID-19 relief funds, education during the pandemic, and potentially changing the legislative rules regarding quorums.
Outside with live cam tonight, beautiful view of downtown San Antonio. Clear skies after just some fair weather clouds this afternoon. And I know it was very warm this evening, but with that breeze in place, it didn't feel too terrible out there. And I hope you were able to spend at least a little bit of time outside today without being drenched in sweat. Temperatures today at the airport, morning low of 75, up to 93 this afternoon. That's still 4 degrees below average for this time of year. And we're going to see temperatures generally hover in the mid to upper 90s for the next several days, with very, very minimal rain chances for some of us. We'll talk about that. We're also going to cover what's going on in the tropics this hour. Things are starting to heat up out in the Atlantic Basin. We'll also talk about how that plays into the Saharan dust. We'll take a look at the latest outlook there and also get you a look at what's going on with weather across the country. That and more coming up in a bit.
Still to come on the Night Beat, the bipartisan infrastructure bill passed a test vote in the Senate today, but it's not the only hurdle in its way. We'll break down what lies ahead. Plus, the United States adding to its medal count today in Tokyo. We'll take a look back at all of today's events as the Olympics head into the final home stretch.
And another day with more than 100,000 new COVID cases. This as many hospitals nationwide are nearing capacity. The latest on the Night Beat.
When called in, they bank serious overtime to get your power back on. So why are their co-workers making thousands of dollars just to sit at home?
How do you justify this sum for ratepayers?
Monday, the expensive mistake CPS keeps making on the Night Beat.
True or false? A pizza was delivered to an astronaut while in orbit. True. Pizza Hut delivered to space. And just like that delivery, our stuffed crust is out of this world. Order now and get a large stuffed crust pizza for just $12.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Thomas J. Henry has fought day in and day out. For every client we've had the honor of representing, we will always be the name you trust. Thomas J. Henry. Available 24/7 nights and weekends.
Are you losing sleep over the stress of mattress shopping? You're not the only one who's ready for a change. And you can make it happen with the Revive Sleep Center inside Living Spaces. No pushy salespeople here, just non-commissioned experts who will help you find the perfect mattress. No gimmicks or hidden costs either. Just quality options at guaranteed low prices. We even offer seamless online shopping and fast free shipping, because we won't rest until you do. Experience the Revive Sleep Center difference.
Living Spaces.
It's time to spread your wings and your flippers. It's time to breathe the air, dance in the streets, and excite your senses. From day to night. Now, more than ever, it's time to see the world again. SeaWorld. Get a SeaWorld annual pass for as low as $6.99 per month.
Every 4 years, athletes compete for the gold. And every day, Generations Federal Credit Union works hard to get the gold for our members. Like our auto loans, starting at just 1.99% APR. With no payments up to 90 days and a refinance rebate up to $300, you could pocket up to $1,800. Now that's a lot of gold. Apply today at Generations Federal Credit Union. Member owned, community grown.
At GVEC, we're delivering solar and battery storage installation and maintenance. Delivering options for your family. Delivering a comfortable lifestyle for you. At GVEC, we're focused on delivering more. Treating customers right. Standing behind our work. Charging a fair price. And simply being easy to do business with. How can we deliver more to you?
True or false? The first ever online purchase was a pizza. True. Pizza Hut was part of the original online order. And just like that order, we are home of the original stuffed crust. Get a large stuffed crust pizza for just $12.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Delta variant fueling an alarming rise in cases. The country now seeing 4 straight days of more than 100,000 new infections.
Florida leading the U.S. in hospitalizations. Here's ABC's Christine Sloan with the details.
The U.S.